All right, I want to go over the RDL. This is a different kind of RDL. It's like a single leg RDL, but it's mainly used as a drill or an activation before we squat or deadlift. This is going to get you feeling that hamstring. This is going to help also guide those hips into position so we don't get into anterior pelvic tilt or an overextension pattern, okay? So what we're going to do, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to bring your pelvis and ribs together. You're going to, again, lean to either side that you want. So we'll lean to our left. From here, you're going to hinge at the hips. Don't hinge at the back and lean back. Don't dump forward and just lean with the upper back. We're going to make sure our pelvis and ribs together. We're on one leg. Have just a minor bend in the leg, nothing major. And you're going to bend over as far as you can. Right now, I feel a fire in my hamstrings where my glute and hamstring tie in. And I feel the weight evenly dispersed throughout that foot I'm leaning on. Now the big kicker to really open up the hip is we're gonna take that non-active hip and we're gonna throw it down to the ground. So I'm here and I'm leaning over, but then at the same time, I'm leaning in to that hip to throw it down to the ground. When we come here with our pelvis ribs, lean over, bend over at the waist, and then throw this hip down, I feel a gigantic stretch right where my glute, hamstring, and low back tie into each other. What I like to do is I hang out here for 30 seconds. Just hang out, just breathe. And every time I take an exhale, I go just a little bit farther. So it's just, the farther I go down, the more I feel it in the hamstring, glute, and it's stretching out this low back as I throw that other hip to the ground. So I'll do the other side to show you, okay? So we're here, bring our pelvis to our ribs, lean over to that one foot you want to start with, or whatever foot, doesn't matter. Only a slight bend in that knee. Hinge at the hips. Start to feel it in your ham, glute, and maybe a little bit in your low back, that's okay. And then take that non-active hip, either the left or right, and throw it to the ground. Oh my God, right now, just standing here breathing, I feel this whole hip capsule opening up. I stand here. So before I squat or deadlift, or before you will squat or deadlift, this is something you want to do for 3 sets, each side, 30 seconds. You're gonna feel this immense stretch and opening. This is really good for keeping those hips open, for any low back pain, any type of compressed disc or ligament strain, muscle strain, sciatica. It really helps alleviate and remove tension from the low back that's not necessary. A lot of people squat in this overextension pattern to where they're here trying to stay too upright, and then these little itty bitty back muscles have to do all of the work out of the hole. Whereas if we were to keep our pelvis and ribs together and guide ourselves down, right here, I can use hams, glutes, adductors, quads to drive out of the hole. Instead of here, I'm using these back muscles to heave it out. We want to use the most muscles possible to move the most amount of weight, okay? So ensuring our proper mechanics, ensuring that we're sitting into our hips, this will help.